Two-syllable words. My name is Pepe Tujatmoko from Sanata Dharma University, Yogyakarta, Indonesia. First, about noun stress. Two-syllable nouns generally have a combination of strong stress and weak stress. The combination applies to both single-morpheme noun or noun which is not formed from an adjective or verb, and a derived noun or noun which is formed from an adjective or verb with a suffix or ending or with a prefix. Now let's start with single-morpheme nouns. Single-morpheme nouns or non-derived nouns without any suffix have a stress on the first syllable, like in apple, candle, finger, garden, village, system. Then nouns with the ending ion or -tion have the stress also in the first syllable because it only consists of two syllables. It's like in caption, caption, mission, nation, portion, question. So the stress is on the first syllable, not on the -tion. The next, nouns with er or or, which shows a person or a door. We have the stress also in the first syllable. We have actor, baker, cheater, teacher, writer. So here the stress is also on the first syllables of the nouns. We have noun with other suffixes like -men or -ness or -te. We have or -she. The stress is also on the first syllable. Movement, treatment, hardship, kinship, darkness, kindness, kindness. So here the stress of the two-syllable nouns with the ending -men, -she, and -ness is also in the first syllable. Now we have adjectives. Similar to nouns, two-syllable adjectives also have a strong stress on the first syllable and a weak stress on the second syllable. We have the non-derived adjectives or adjectives which only consist of one word, like in clever. So the stress is on clever, heavy, modern, narrow, tender. So all these words have the stress on the first syllable. Then we have adjectives with an ending -l. The stress is also on the first syllable. We have like in fatal, bridal, brutal, racial, central. So the stress on the strong stress is on the first syllable. Then words which end with the suffix -s also have the stress or strong stress on the first syllable. We have like famous, conscious, jealous, nervous, precious. Then we have adjectives with if. The stress is also on the first syllable, like in active, massive, native, passive, stative. So here the stress or the strong stress is also on the first syllable. Then we have adjectives which end with ish or a or ik. The stress is also on the first syllable. We have the word bluish, boyish, handy, sunny, cynic, tonic. So here the stress is also on the first syllable. As you know, the word bluish is from blue, boyish is from boy, handy is from hand, sunny is from sun, cynic is from sin, but toxic is also I think it's no a derived word. Then we have verbs. Verbs is different, or verbs are different from nouns and adjectives because verbs generally have the stress on the second syllable. We have like accept, begin, discuss, prevent, suggest, remove. So the stress of these words, of these verbs, are on accept, gain, cast, when, suggest, and move. Accept, begin, discuss, prevent, suggest, remove. Here, if we have like the word begin, we have the consonant, vowel, and consonant, the consonant j, and the letter I and the consonant N. Because the stress is on the second syllable on the word gin here, then usually we have the consonant double. So if we have beginning, the N is double. So if you have a two-syllable verbs and the stress is on the syllable on the second syllable, if you have this structure, consonant, vowel, and consonant, the second consonant is double. And then we also need to pay attention that in English there are many verbs and nouns which have the same form, but they are only different, and they are only different on the stress placement. Well, before that, let me just go on with this. We have many words in English. Well, not really many. Many verbs in English have the stress on the first syllable. I think these are common verbs like in answer, argue, carry, listen, suffer. So these are rather unusual, but they are common words. The stress is on the first syllable for verbs because the general rule, if you have two-syllable verbs, the stress is on the second syllable. And then in English, oh, one more, we have happen. Happen. Okay. And then in English, we have some noun-verb contrasts, meaning there are a set of English nouns and verbs which have the same letter structure, like conduct and conduct. Those are the same in the letter, but the pronunciation more or less the same. But the stress is on the first syllable for a noun, and for a verb, the stress is on the second syllable. If we have this word, conduct, we pronounce it as con, but for the verb, we usually pronounce it with the conduct. So conduct, conduct. contrast. So con and contrast. Permit, protest, process, a process, to process. We are processing. So here we are conducting, we are contrasting. You are permitted. You are not allowed to protest. So the stress here are on the second syllable, to conduct, to contrast, to permit, to protest. But the noun, you have the conduct, the contrast, the permit, the protest, the process. So for the noun, the stress is on the first syllable, but the verb is on the second syllable. We also have the word survey. That's a noun. We conduct a survey. That's a noun. But the verb, we have survey. We have surveyed. So the stress is on surveyed. Well, that's all about the two-syllable words in English.